What's up, guys? Zach Miner here for Rev3Games. I'm here with Matt Pryor, the line producer for FIFA 13, and we just got our first look at FIFA 13 on the Wii U. Matt, tell us a little bit about how you guys are taking advantage of the new hardware with FIFA.
For the first time, for a long time on a Nintendo console, it really allows Nintendo users to have a game on par with the 360 and PS3. Now the Wii U really bridges that gap.
So does it look better than the PS3 or 360 versions?
I'll let you be the judge of that. It's certainly on par, and we have been able to make a couple of features a little more detailed. So we want to focus on things that mean the most to the user. So the pitch, when you're playing the game, is obviously something you're staring at like 90% of your time.
Right.
So we've improved the pitch. It's a lot more detailed. And also the crowd. We often get hear from the fans on the forum who we try and listen to as much as we can. They feel they could improve the crowd. So we've got double the resolution in the crowd.
So you're playing the active mode with the gamepad. What are you seeing on the gamepad screen as you're playing?
So that's entirely up to you. So it defaults currently to the gameplay. So it basically just replicates what you're seeing on the upper screen, on the lower screen. Now obviously with a touchscreen, passing, shooting, set pieces and player runs, there's more stuff you can do on that screen. But then we've got a tab system whereby you can pick from one of 6 tabs to watch a show. So we've got the manager hub, that's the interactive radar, which has the player names. You can tap on a player and see his stats. You see the match stats throughout. You can really kind of dive into the game there and analyse how things are going, with a view to ultimately making changes elsewhere. So then the other one is we've got the substitutions tab. You can make subs on the fly without interrupting the game. You can check how your player's doing, his performance rating and so on. Formations tab, you can change formations on the fly. And similarly, tactics. There's a robust tactics system, and there are millions of variations of tactics that you can now do on the tactics tab. Again, all on the fly while the game's running. And finally, the man marking tab, where you can assign a marker to a danger man who's tearing you to pieces or whatever.
And so you can do all of these features in single player, but the way you guys were showing it off today was in cooperative mode, right? I had one of the pro controllers, and I was playing I've been playing FIFA for years, and then there was another guy who was sending guys on runs, right? Yeah,
so that's kind of falling in line with the demographic of where the Wii U is more of a family kind of entertainment console in the corner of the living room. And one of the cool things about the gamepad is it's touchscreen. So what that does from a gaming perspective, it really allows people to get into gaming like never before. You know, if you give a controller to a non-gamer, they're a bit like, what on earth is all this? What do all the buttons do? You give a touchscreen and it's instantly something that they can associate with. So for us on FIFA, it was key that we utilised that touchscreen and really kind of changed the game and allowed users who previously didn't consider themselves gamers the opportunity to kind of dip their toe in FIFA. Because FIFA now looks like football, real football, it sounds like real football, but they perhaps couldn't get into it because of that Twitch gaming barrier. We dubbed it Dad and Son mode, with the kind of the thought that, you know, Dad can sit there, use his footballing brain because he loves football, send players on runs, make all the changes, participate in FIFA and have fun with his son, daughter, whoever, but not have the pressure of a Twitch gamer. So it really kind of opens up the world of FIFA to a lot more casuals, and hopefully makes it a much more kind of like social family experience as well.
Yeah, I think it would be great for people who aren't familiar with FIFA, but if you are very familiar with FIFA, there's also a lot of new options in there, right? Like you were talking about the manager mode. Yeah. You know, on the fly you can create substitutions instead of going into a pause menu, right?
Yeah, a lot of that is in FIFA, but what you find is because it does break the game up, people don't really use it that much because it's just like, oh, it takes so long.
Sure.
So I think it'll really be a game changer in the sense that now you've got a lot more control without breaking up the flow. So you'll see people tinkering with the tactics and changing formations after a goal goes in. So a much more fluid and ever-changing game of FIFA.
Right. There's also the shake and shoot control, right? Tell us about that.
So that's one of the gameplay features that where we wanted to revolutionise around the single player. Shake and shoot, as we kind of dubbed it, is one of those options. Purely optional. You can use the existing shooting mechanic if you want. But what you can also do now is just give the gamepad a quick shake or press the L3 stick. There's 2 ways to trigger it. And then that will show a picture of the net on the touchscreen, and it's as intuitive as where you press is where you will try and shoot. So it really puts a lot more control in the hands of users, and ultimately a lot more satisfaction. If you go through, clean through, and feel like you put that ball in the top corner rather than just pressing shoot and it going there, it's ultimately a lot more rewarding, so it makes the game a lot more rewarding as a result. So one of the things we think hardcore gamers will like is in career mode, currently in 360 PS3, you've just got 2 options, play match or sim match. Once you've hit sim, your participation ends. So what we think a lot of hardcore gamers will like about that is just to go in as manage the match, so they can kick back, watch it, kind of do something else at the same time. But then if it's not going well, they can go to select sides and intervene, basically. So from a hardcore perspective, I think managed mode will have a lot of appeal in that sense.
Yeah, and are all these features going to translate to the online play for the Wii U?
we had to lose 3 of the tabs in the online environment. So they're formations, tactics, and man marking. So you still got the big 3. You still got the gameplay tab and the manager tab with all the stats and sending players on runs.
So there's obviously a lot of new stuff.
Yep.
Is this on feature parity with the PS3 and 360 versions?
So what we have to do is, just like building anything, you have to lay the foundation, and it has to be solid and unmoving in order to which to build on. So one of the things we have to do is take the code base of 360 and PS3 at a point where it's solid, and build on top of that. So we have to pick a point in time to take that. So it's not 12, it's not 13, it's kind of somewhere in between. It's got all the key core things like the physics engines, rendering, all the rest of it. Some of the things you see that are brand new to the 360 PS3 version, we weren't able to get in because they are continually changing.
Sure. Okay, and when does the game come out?
So the game is a launch title, so you'll be able to get your fix of FIFA as soon as the Wii U launches.
Awesome. And the PS3 and 360 versions?
That is out on September 26th, I believe.
All right, cool. Matt, thank you very much. You guys can keep up with all the coverage here at the EA Summer Showcase right here on youtube.com/Rev3Games. Thanks a lot.